Okay, very good. The sound check was a full success, I would say. Welcome, everyone. We have 30 seconds delay, so sorry a little bit for this abrupt start. I'm very happy to see you all here tonight. It's such a pleasure to welcome you to this special event and to share this moment together right here in Genesis Plaza. I'm Toxic Waifu, and over the past few weeks, I've had the joy of working alongside this incredible, talented team to prepare for the upcoming Regenesis Hackathon, which kicks off next week. It's been inspiring to witness their passion, creativity, and dedication up close, and I'm especially excited to see them here with us on stage tonight, ready to share their vision with all of us. So, welcome everyone to meet the DCL Regenesis Labs team. Tonight, Executive Director Gino Gingolani will kick things off with an overview of the mission, vision, and near-term direction of Regenesis Labs. After that, each team lead will take the stage to introduce themselves, share their focus areas, and tell you a bit about their personal journey, giving a closer look at the people behind Regenesis Labs and the passion driving their work. And while you are here, I will be inviting you all to join the official DCL Regenesis Labs community, a community space to discuss, follow updates, and contribute to Regenesis Labs, the executive arm of the Decentraland DAO. So get the latest info on mobile and web-free client development, creator tools, and community programs, and stay connected as we head towards the hackathon. So grab your free Regenesis Labs community tall tea by Dr. Drip, find a good spot, and get ready to meet the people behind Regenesis Labs, the ones building, imaging, and collaborating to make this all happen. So, now it's my absolute pleasure to hand things over to Gino Gingolani, Executive Director of Regenesis Labs.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Thank you, Toxic. It's really hard to speak after Toxic because she has an amazing voice, so you always feel weird when you hear yourself. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks for organizing the event. It's amazing to see you all here. We are super happy wearing the wearable that Dr. Trip did. Thanks so much for that. You can claim it on the dispenser. And so when I was thinking about today's event, of course, the first focus for us and for Toxic who proposed the event, but for the team was for all of you to meet us. I think it's important to put faces on the people that's behind the forum topic, a Discord message, or an avatar. I think 2024 was a year that shows us in the Decentraland community the power of meeting, the power of sometimes being on the same place, like physical or virtual. And that's why I wanted to talk about like the story of how Regenesis Labs started, like what are the things, what are the conversations that took us to this place. And then in the end, of course, I would like to invite my teammates and the team that we are building to speak for themselves, to be on stage for you to know them. And when we were about to start off the air, we were talking with Toxic, and the last time, at least, we remember that we used Genesis Plaza or the cafe for an event was in the Community Summit in Buenos Aires for the streaming of the Community Summit in Buenos Aires. And it's interesting because Regenesis Labs, or the idea of having something like this, the early idea of having something like this, was in the Community Summit, right? It all started at the Community Summit held in Buenos Aires in May last year. During the Community Summit, I mean, from that moment up to this point, a lot of things happened in the Decentraland ecosystem. A lot of like important and big things happened. The new client was released. The new white paper was published. An amazing creator tool studio was built by the foundation team. Like lots of things happened. Actually, some of the things that happened were that the market was like up and down. We got a bull, we got a bear, we got trade wars, we got China. Lots of things happen in the crypto ecosystem and in Decentraland as a community. And during that summit, I think that something became like very, very clear, right? Even though it wasn't obvious to me at that time. And it was the idea of the community wanting to discuss topics that were related to the DAO, right? Governance, funding mechanisms, how we operate, like how we work as a team. And during the summit, we had 3 workshops specifically on DAO topics, right? And all of them were all at full capacity. And like, given how many different sessions people could choose from, it really stood out to me that some of our most engaged community members, some of our most creative community members chose to focus on discussing and shaping the DAO's future. I will do a quick check on audio and streaming. Is it okay? Try to restart between... Yeah, okay, well, basic streaming issues, but it should be fine. Try reloading the client if you don't see the stream or if you don't hear audio, but it should be fine if you reload. Okay, so I was saying that given the variety of workshops and things to discuss during the summit, it was amazing to see that our most engaged community members wanted to discuss it out, to discuss it our future. And given that we are in World and not in the DAO Discord server, I would like to make a quick pause here. I'm sorry for those of you who, of course, know this, but I know that some community members don't engage in the DAO a lot. So for me, it's important to mention and to do like a quick check on what the DAO is, right? Or a quick recap on what the DAO is. So a DAO is what we call an internet native type of organization, right? That allows people to make decisions collectively, to manage shared resources, like a smart contract, like funds. It's basically what makes decentralized from a social perspective, from a, I would say even a political perspective, right? So if you think on the overall decentralized ecosystem, like at least until now, you had 2 big entities, the foundation and the DAO, collaborating with each other, right? The foundation holds the trademark and the IP rights of Decentraland as a brand. It manages the web domains. It manages and ensures that the platform remains secure. Build the reference client development, organizes events. Like, it's basically the big driver of the progress of Decentraland. And it's funded via basically the same vesting contract, the same like stream of mana that comes from an immutable vesting contract than the DAO is, right? The DAO has exactly the same vesting contract. And the DAO is the owners and the steward and the guard of like the protocol upgrades, the content curation policies, and up until now, it was responsible as well for the ecosystem development in the form of the grants. You all remember that the grants program was paused last year. So back at the summit, like as you can see here, like, well, I don't know if you see on the stream with good quality, but it's a slide that says the DAO is a mess, and the DAO was a mess. Everyone recognized like 2 key things, right? The importance of the DAO treasury as a tool to grow the community, and the importance of decentralized decision making for guiding protocol updates, at least, right? The security aspect of it. So after like hours and hours of workshops and several like beers with community members, the problem became very clear. The participation rates at the DAO were at their lowest point after more than like 2 years of active DAO development, or 3 years of active DAO development. We still hadn't partnered with anyone to professionally manage the DAO treasury. This is something really important. So the DAO holds a lot of assets, right? And it's the driver of at least the ecosystem growth of Decentraland. And if you're sitting on a pile of volatile money without doing anything, you might win, but you might lose a lot, right? A lot of DAOs, most of the most mature DAOs have some kind of strategy to safeguard their assets. And we didn't. We couldn't do that in like 3 years. The execution started to show cracks, like the model of using grants to fund operational teams started to show limitations. At that time, 2 out of 4 core units that we had in the DAO stopped working. There was like no clear continuity plan. You can see that with the governance platform that went unmaintained, and now we are fixing it. The amount of money spent on grants wasn't translating into the outcomes we needed. I mean, at that point, the grants program has already been paused, right? And there was like no clear plan for what to do next. And the problem, and like this is like my personal opinion. The problem wasn't like the management of grants. Personal opinion again. I genuinely think that the management of the grants programs that we had was really good. We had good tools. We had onboarding for grantees. We had marketing push. We had monthly follow-ups. Like we had a lot of things that compared to other grants in other crypto projects, our experience was like years ahead. The real problem is that everyone was pushing in their own direction, right? Without a shared overarching strategy. And on top of that, we lacked an organization or an entity that could equalize costs across projects, across grants. And on top of that, I will say it, there was a lot of corruption, right? There was a lot of like buying votes, getting grants, by paying for someone with a high VP to do things. Like those things happen, right? And it happens in a lot of DAOs, not only us. So this led to not having a clear strategy and doing like overspending a lot on grants. There is a way, right? We could have objectives, the grants could align. Like if you see the arrows there are not perfectly aligned because that's part of funding communities, like funding grants is. But the problem is that every time this conversation started, the phantom of the centralization came into play, right? Like everyone's like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Who's there? Who's gonna make the decisions? Like, what are the behind stories of setting objectives? So the community summit was in May. In June, I was like back at mid-June, I was at my home and I was listening to a podcast about a constitutional assembly held in Argentina in 1994. And I wrote a blog post, this blog post about the Regenesis summit, that some of you were there and some of you might remember, and if not, I will talk about that now. Wrote this blog post to create some kind of like epic moment, saying, hey, there are things that are definitely broken in the way we are managing the DAO, in the way we are managing the funds, and we need to fix it. And even though I'm a huge believer of virtual social worlds, and that's the reason why I'm here, sometimes it's important to meet face-to-face and discuss the hard things. So I basically proposed, hey, let's meet somewhere in the world. Let's try to do this in the most open and autonomous way possible and discuss what we need to discuss. So this was June. In September 2024, we met in Lisbon, like more than 25 people. We organized like this summit. It was self-funded with travel aids from the donors. There were community members, there were core unit representatives, the core units at that time. There were foundation team members. 3 of the 4 founders of the projects were there. Like we sat in a conference room for hours, discussed a lot of topics in a pretty structured way, several topics, and we got to some agreements. And the agreements were, okay, we need a clear mission for the DAO, like why do the DAO exists? We need new ways to fund projects, and we need a strategy to align the execution of those projects, right? This is, a year ago. Yeah, it's September 2024. We're starting October. So then we created like a tag team to craft the proposals. All of the proposals went through the whole governance cycle, 3 votations per proposals, 12 votations total. It was like a phased approach. First, we, as a community, decided that the grants program wasn't working as it were, so we deprecated it. Then we agreed on the mission for the DAO, then created what we call the DAO Council, which is a strategic council to align the strategy of the DAO. And finally, a few months later, and after dozens of hours on Twitter Spaces and town halls, after getting the buy-in from a lot of the community members, we proposed the creation of the concept of the executive arm. I'll get to this later. What is the important thing? Like, what is the mission of the DAO? Like, this is the mission that we voted. To be honest, I don't love it. I don't hate it either. I think it's good enough to start. It's something. And it's also something to test our decisions against, right? It talks about representative governance, right? People should have not be like voting all the time on all the things. We need context. We need some expertise. We need accountability for the decisions. It talks about like efficient management of the resources, right? Find mechanisms to spend, manage, and try to grow the DAO resources. And it talks about innovation, right? We should help pushing the protocol. We should help pushing the Decentraland forward as a project. So this was a mission. We deprecated the program, we voted on a mission, and then we created like a council, right? Oops. That's it. So we got like 20 candidates postulating themselves. We got a good representation of like mixed like skill sets, technical management, community, well, now some finance as well. And the idea of this council was that the council should be elected and should be dismissed by the community, should set the strategic direction of the DAO, should hire the executive director, that's me, should oversee the executive arm operations, and should approve the budgets and the treasury strategies that the DAO and the executive arm, the executive arm will work. It was really fun. I think it was the best set of proposals voted ever in the DAO. It was super fun to see. You can see there the amount of like votes on the DAO Council elections. I remember the protocol squad built a real-time dashboard where you could see how the voting power was being distributed amongst the candidates. And we ended with the council that I showed later. Like we had Canessa, we had Jungle, who's the former executive director of the Decentraland Foundation. We had Monotributista, which is one of the core contributors, early core contributors of the Decentraland, and also creator of Exodus Town, one of the projects that I think lately pushed the protocol forward or tested some things. Fez is there as well with his governance experience, and Meta Ryuk with his finance and also security expertise is there. Okay, the council started to discuss, it was formed, started to debate, and those are the strategic themes they defined, right, for the next 18 months of the DAO. This was back in April this year. So we need to create experiences for users. We need to create engaging experiences for users. Like we need to fund those kind of things. We need to drive the protocol innovation through new clients for the Decentraland. We need to strengthen the creator and builder communities by relaunching community funding mechanisms, like the grants program, like the hackathon that we're organizing, and Toxic will probably shield once more later. And we also need to ensure the sustainability of the DAO and the growth through managing its resources, right? Somehow. And then this concept, right? Okay, we have the mission, we have the council, and now we have, or we need to have the entity that operates this strategy. And we started talking about executive arm. I don't know why. The industry standard concept for crypto projects and decentralized organizations are operational companies, right? Operational companies are what is called DAO adjacent entities that enable a DAO to simply be a DAO while pushing the largest liability vectors, like business activities, to entities that are able to comply with regulations, to entities that can operate in the real world, right? Token holders will not be the controllers or the managers of the entity, they are sovereign, but the council and the bylaws mandate certain checks and balances to hold the entity accountable, right? So this operational company concept is accountable to the DAO through a set of representatives, which in our case is the DAO Council. And we decided to use the brand Regenesis Labs for this, right? Regenesis Labs works fine. It's about regenerating Decentraland. It's a lab because we are experimenting with multiple things, funding, organization, technologies, open source, and we are also compliant with the DAO principles there. Well, that's it, what I was explaining. Okay, so this is Regenesis Labs. This is our logo. We were funded in June and founded in September. And our main objectives are enhance the operational efficiency of the DAO, fund some of the key strategic projects, and as I was saying before, protect the long term of the treasury. I won't go into this because it's boring, but I will go into this. We have an approved budget of 23.6 million mana to be executed on 18 months. 52% of that money should be allocated to fund community projects. And the focus areas where we are focusing right now is establishing the operations. That's something that we already done. Building the team. That's something that we are doing currently. Actually, now we are hiring for 3 positions on this team, for a product designer and 2 engineers. You can check on the Decentraland Twitter account or on the Decentraland Lever page, the careers page, where you will see the positions and their descriptions. To finally launch Decentraland clients for mobile devices and to make Decentraland available on web again. To restart the community funding initiatives, to restart the grants program, to organize hackathons, to give away resources to the amazing creators that we have in the community. That the foundation has been doing and has been testing lots of things. So we have some learnings there. We have, of course, learnings from the previous grants program. And we want to bring people who's thinking about community funding initiatives in a professional way to basically reshape the way we're giving away resources and money, and to basically produce high quality, engaging experiences, particularly gaming experiences in World, and especially focusing on the experience on mobile devices, right? I'm super happy to be leading this team. It's a huge challenge for me. So my mom didn't know what I was doing when I was working as a product manager. Now this is even weird, but I'm sure that we're building a kick-ass team. We are sure as a team that we'll be able to deliver on the things that we are proposing and the things that the DAO and the council hired us for. And we are relying on you, or we are asking you to give us your ideas, to challenge our decisions, and to let us know if something is not going as expected. This wouldn't be possible without the team that we are building. And this super long introduction was to present the team, for you to know them. This is part of the team. We are all dudes. I'm not super proud of that. Decentraland is one of the few crypto communities where there is some gender balance, and I want Regenesis Labs to reflect that. And I'm committed to make that happen once the team grows. But nevertheless, it's an amazing team, and I would like to introduce, and you can join in stage, to Zeno. Some of you might know him. Kuruk, which is the engineering manager of the team building the MOE clients. So Zeno is our operations lead, is the person that makes everything happens in a organized and rhythmic way. We have Rod here. Rod is our newest addition to the team. He's a product manager who's going to be responsible of the experience of the MOE clients, and me as the executive director. So whoever wants to start, like it's open. It's like a more informal conversation. I would like you guys to just present yourselves, to tell like if you've been engaged in Decentraland for a long time or for a short period of time, to tell us what you've been up to, what are your focus areas right now, like what kind of things the community should ping you if they need something, like what are your topics. And finally, if you want to talk some, if you want to tell us something like fun, like a fun fact from yourselves, would be nice.
All right. Woo! It was a long presentation. Thank you for that, Shino. It was amazing. I think that now all the community members could have a lot more context about who we are and what we are doing. I will start. I think that not everybody knows me, but here I am. This is my face. My real name is Juan Casinelli. But you know me as a Sino, or in some moments you know me as a bad cop because I was the responsible guy behind the revocation of the grants. I will tell you a little more about me. I worked for the over 11 years in the Department of Justice in Argentina. I'm a lawyer. My principal job there was investigate some financial crimes, scams, and thief. Basically, I was chasing the guys in suits. Then in 2021, I joined the Central Land, and I have been deeply involved in terms of governance. I started in the grants program, and there my focus area was improving how funds were distributed and used. Over the time, I had to create the revocations committee, which was acted as a power balancing mechanism in the past. The idea was to ensure that the Grand Support Squad wasn't have a lot of power because we were the people behind basically investigating or trying to the project going move forward, and then we have the decision also to revoke. So we need to do some kind of balance there. Uh, in terms of the second question that was what I am doing now in DCL Regenesis Lab, basically in the beginning, my role was focused on research and legal structuring, working to establish the Regenesis Lab as a legal entity and to define what means in terms of governance, compliance, and autonomy. Also, I am the person behind the transparency dashboard. I'm trying to, I'm aim to show every transaction and everything that we are doing. So this is something that as a commitment for us. So if you want to see something extra that is there, you can pick me. I can show you how this works basically. Also, today I've served as a operational lead, connecting the strategy with execution, coordinate between teams and managing the budgets and making sure that the ideas that Chino mentioned at the beginning actually becomes real. Outside of my work, I find balance in the mountains. I love trekking, also skiing, but the thing that most love basically is spending time outdoors with my dog. I love my dog, and I'm trying to be outside as many times as I can. And in terms of in which terms of thing you can pick me, we can talk about governance, operational design, or if you want some tips regarding mountains and trails, please send me a message, and I will help you. I will glad to help you. Thank you. I don't know who will be the next, but I pass the microphone to Kuru that he had an amazing t-shirt. We can't hear her, I think, Cook. Mm,
Hello, Kirk. I think we can't hear you right now.
Yep, we can't hear you, Cook.
Now can you hear me?
Yep.
So great. Well, in the stage I'm Kuruk. My real name is Mateo. So I'm the engineer manager at Regenesis Labs, leading the research and development team. So I've been part of the Centraland since 2021. And since Gino said about fun facts, one of my best moments in the Central was the Metaverse Festival. So if you see my wearable, is from Deadmau 5 performance live. So I think it was a great moment. And it really captured the spirit of the Centraland, creativity, connection, and fun. And now my objective is to bring the same feeling back, but this time to everyone's phone. So no matter where you are, on your way to work, traveling, or hanging out with your friends, you can jump into the Centraland and feel part of the same energy again, but just from your pocket, from your cell phone, and wherever you want. So our team is working on the mobile and the web versions, and you can call me on that, on me for anything related to them. So let's keep building the future of the Centraland together. Thank you for hearing me. Also, I don't know if you can see the screen, I'm in mobile, so everyone's been working in mobile also.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Gino. Thank you, Mateo and Toxic and everyone for being here. This is Rod. I'm the new product manager for Regenesis Labs. So pleasure to meet everyone and really excited for this first meeting and getting to know the community. In game, I go by Turon, not by Turo. That will be good. But so we are like the Italian gang, but not yet. So a bit about me. All-time gamer, all-life gamer. Mostly business administration background, and then I kind of started getting into development. For the past, for my whole professional career, I have been kind of a product manager, spending the last 3 years working at Maxis, which is the game studio behind The Sims. So in there, kind of working on undisclosed mobile title, leading the social tools and platform teams. A bit of fun fact on the side, I do some UEFN games for Fortnite. So if you play those, it's kind of a Roblox experiences. And also at some point, I did try to make some toast making games in Unity. They're still work in progress, but sometime maybe they'll hit the market. So yeah, about our goal and mission, as Kurot said, during Q4 and Q1, our main focus will be to basically shape up the mobile experience and bring all the core social features, including text chat, events, the friend system, overall enhancing the mobile usability. So the mobile client is in a really good state. And as Mateo said, no matter where you are, you can join in, you can check in on what's happening, and you can enjoy the game in mobile as if you were on the desktop client. So that's what we'll be working on during the first and upcoming months. And shortly, we're going to announce a community testing program for mobile. So the idea there is that you, the community, can help us bring together that vision to reality, help find bugs, and shape that experience together and have a really good back and forth feedback. So really excited to be here. Looking forward for this next month. And feel free to reach out on anything related to mobile, related to the experience, any bugs, ideas, or really just to exchange some thoughts. Let's have a chat, and you can find me in Discord as to run or in game. So thank you, everyone, and I think I can pass it back to you, Toxic or Gino.
I'm good with either. Gino, do you want to add anything? I think we learned some amazing facts right now from the Regenesis Labs team. Even if Gino is owing us one fun fact, I think he mentioned it in the chat. The fun fact about Gino, he is a DJ. So this is something that we knew today. Yeah, if you like, I can tell a little bit about the hackathon, but to be
I would love
honest, I
to.
would like
Yeah.
really, because I wanted to let the stage to you all today. But to be honest, I'm super hyped. The hackathon is starting, friends, next week, finally. For me, it feels like a long time since we were preparing it, and I can't wait to ship it. We are starting on Monday with an aimer. We're gonna show you step by step how you can submit and how you can register for the hackathon. I would very, very friendly invite you all to join our Decentraland DCL Regenesis Labs community, because there you can see all the events that are happening in the future for the hackathon. And yeah, I'm hyped. Next Tuesday, we are starting with a Bring the Vibe workshop by Last Room. This is for everyone that has never built in the Decentraland worlds before, but also if you are someone that is a little bit more experienced, I think it's still valuable to come and chill and maybe to connect with some other builders, because this hackathon you can also make teams, you can build alone. We have a very, very open topic, and you know Halloween is just around the corner, so we're gonna get a little bit spooky on our way. And if you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me and keep an eye on the Foundation X account. Much thanks to the Foundation for making this event today possible. Shout out to Shibu and also Picasso for making this possible, that we have an event today here in Genesis Plaza. I think this is amazing. And also much thanks to Kimbo and also Master Waynes for being with us and helping us getting this on social media, because the hackathon will be shared on the socials of the Foundation. So please keep an eye on that. The best events will be shared. And yeah, I'm ready to learn how to wipe code, and I hope you all too.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Toxic. Thanks, everyone. It's really super nice to see the cafe filled with a lot of people. It feels crowded. It feels cozy, and it's nice to see that vibe in world. I mean, if anyone has questions, comments, or doubts, just write on the chat. If not, we can just hang around here, enjoy our weekends, and be with each other.
Was wondering if the fun fact is that I'm a DJ or I'm a lawyer.
We need a few seconds before the stream is ending. So
Yes, it was a joke.